And welcome back here to the Season 3 Chinese Grand Prix, as we've got our race leader about to come into the pit lane, and Manolis Sigalakis also having a look there at Rob Sharp. So there we have it. Harry Costello is in the pit lane. That will release Toby Cadera back into the lead of this race. Popple across the line ahead, and Rinyaho then is chasing down the DTK driver.
Although he needs to look behind him because he's being chased down.
Oh, and
by
there's
Lasky.
Lasky. Not facing the right way at all. So what's happened here for the Brit? Looks like he's locked maybe the rear brakes or something going into the final corner, and he's just thrown it around.
Just a spin though. Could have been worse.
Could have been worse, but as every car goes by.
Incredibly on. Yeah, it's just an unfortunate event there, really.
That more than anything is a net gain for Rob Sharp. Well, it will be almost.
Well, that's lifted a bit of pressure off Costello, because that's who he was going to race out the pits.
Here he is, Costello, of course, going to the end. So that's a big win for a lot of
12th
races.
Martin, Harvey, they look like they had no chance of points, but
more than anything, that does put Stefan Berner into the prime position here. He's the first driver that's in that range of getting to the end of the race, so it all comes down to Stefan now, really. He's got Nathan Corns at 4.5 seconds behind in his Razor. He wasn't making many inroads earlier in the race, and I don't think he will be now either.
How about Harvey and Martin? Is they going to the end?
No, Harvey's got another stop.
Harvey isn't.
Costello is effectively the third car that can go to the end, followed by Deal. And then we've got Utser and Reed, so those two are coming together on the track again. Back to the front then, Rinyaho, well, we know he's got to go through the pits again.
So it's lap 27, we still only have one retirement, which is an enormous improvement from Melbourne. So we've still only got one Jaws, and everybody else has got both cars going. So this really is just a race about pace. Who's quickest, who's got the best strategy, who can overtake, and who can do the least mistake.
Rautavaara down the back straight.
Now, is Rautavaara catching Rinyaho? Is he
So he gets somewhat close to the back of that Falcon, and it's going to be like hitting a wall. Almost. Going through those corners, it's just going to be chomping through the tyres. As Rinyaho now is going to be looking to pit this lap, as is Cadera, as is Rautavaara, so this is where it gets interesting.
So Rinyaho has gone for a really short second stint. He was, one of the last of the leaders to pit. And he's going to be the first again.
Sigalakis is going to come in as well. He's got Berner pretty much right on his tail, so there's going to be,
has pitted.
There's going to be an entire pit stop worth of time that Sigalakis is going to lose to Berner, so he's really out of the running for line honours.
Yeah. The pole man, of course, Sigalakis. He's just been let down by lack of pace, lack of power. and, well, lack of strategy.
Back to near the front. Ratavara has been closing in on Rinyaho a little bit.
Is that Ratavara pitting as well?
Oh yep, top 3 all pitting.
So I think the top 3. So this is going to be a proper race of the pit crews.
So Kadera's already in. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly the DTK crew work, because Sigalakis could have quite an impact. No, but he won't be close. But he will be close to impact the next 2. So Rinyo has to wait for Sigalakis to come through, and then Ratavara has to wait for both of them. That's put Rinyo behind Utsa and Reed even.
So that's kind of worked out for Kedra, even though he's got a load of cars he needs to overtake. It's kind of worked in the fact that he's got a good bunch of cars in between him and Rinyaho and Ratavara.
We would be expecting possibly 5 cars ahead of Kadera to be pitting.
So if he wants a podium, he's got some overtaking to do.
Costello is holding down the effective 3rd place. Only 3 seconds ahead of Kadera. Now I'm not sure if he came out ahead of Pablo Deal. I think he may have, but Pablo is not very far away there.
He just popped out ahead of him, yeah.
So that's crucial there for Kadera, because that would have been
going to the end. Yes, that's 2 cars. One who's definitely going to the end in between him and his rivals. So at the moment it's looking like one stop was the way to go.
We will see, because obviously oh, what's happened here to Stefan Berner? Apparently it's a water leak there for the Dutchman. He's lost a lot of speed down the front straight. And I don't think he's going to get that one back. When did it happen is the question.
So the curse of the leader.
Oh, it's happened before the pit lane, so obviously he hasn't noticed anything.
Try and get back.
The team did.
Oh, maybe.
The team told him to come back, and he's not gotten the message, and he goes through.
So, yeah, I think he's obviously been set. I'm not pitting again. This is me to the end, and it's just somebody's overtaken him as he's got to the corner, and he's panicked. And well, that is the end of car number 2's race. Oh, bumpy through the ground. Well,
so Stefan Berner becomes the 2nd retirement here in China.
So once again, it's a retirement from near the lead. Now we had Graham, who was in about 4th or 5th, and Berner, who was 3rd or 4th, I think. So
that leaves Yamaguchi leading.
Yamaguchi's getting a few laps in the lead now.
But he'll be pitting this lap, and that'll put our defending champion in the lead. Here's confirmation of water leak has ended Stefan Berner's day. So Jamie Cox now leads. He won't have long before he'll be in Ishikawa running light, and that leaves Nathan Corns now. He is leading effectively. Doesn't have to pit again.
Yeah, he's got 2 cars between him and 3 cars back to the DTK. One of which isn't going to pit.
Costello holding 5th. It's not very far ahead of Cadera, who is making a good move so far. Deal holding down a very strong position as well. Rinyaho still ahead of Rautavara. There's Yamaguchi. Lasky ahead of Sigalakis.
RV down there 18th. Look like Anar's pulled up close after pitting very early with some problems.
On board here with Nathan Corns.
So yeah, net leader. This will help Razor enormously. He's got a teammate ahead of him, but he's got to pit. Not this lap. So across the line with 10 laps to go. Across that line with 10 laps to go. Rest of the lead is still on. No. DTK's got to get a bit quicker. He's going to pull an overtake or 2. But he could challenge Corns if he tries hard enough.
And we did see in Melbourne, you know, the late stoppers, you know, the ones that are stopping afterwards, they definitely do have a lot of speed in the final stint. It's not over yet. Nathan Corns was the prime example. McNamara too, both of them moving with tremendous speed through the field. We'll see if Cadera can do similar here in China.
Yeah, well, looks like Cox is coming in this lap. And I've got an 11-second lead, which
that'll do him well. It won't put him in the lead, but he'll be looking to pop out probably somewhere around Deal. Deal, Utsa and Reed. And with that,
well, he's in now.
So Razor here will hold a 1-2 for, well, they'll go across the line, so that's a Razor 1-2 currently. We do see Cox has finished his pit stop. He's got to go the entire length of the pit lane, however.
Looks like Martins has pitted.
There you have it.
He's dropped another position.
Pops out behind Yamaguchi.
Yamaguchi had to have another attempt at turning into that corner. His Cox was suddenly where
right
he
now,
was
I don't
aiming for.
expect Cox to be staying there for too long.
Why do you expect to find him in a gravel trap?
I wouldn't put it past him, but I don't think that would be the case. So
He's not quite going to do a Hockenheim.
we're expecting McNamara in this lap. We're expecting Brugman in this lap. We're expecting Ishikawa in this lap, and that will cleanse the leaderboard, definitely the top 10.
So if Brugman comes in, that's going to release Kedra, who can put his foot down and try and catch and pass Costello for what will be second place.
So there goes Ishikawa then. That'll put Nathan Corns into the lead of this race, and that is locked in. He doesn't have to pit again. We see Costello coming across in second place. Jamie Cox has gone past Yamaguchi, that's important. Cadera is in third.
I think Rautavaara's got past Rinho.
Deal is in fourth, Oots is in fifth, he's got Aaron Reed behind still. Rautavaara has indeed dispatched of Rinho, so Rautavaara now is into P7. Rinho in P8, he's got Jamie Cox right on the back of him now, so Cox even fancies a little look, thinks better of it. Jamie Cox, he's only got a couple of laps. Aaron Reed struggling there to turn the car.
Runs a bit wide, but keeps it going, just about.
There's Nathan Corns, he's holding 8 seconds. So we're going to be looking for Cadera to be he's got to get past Costello, and then he's got to be rolling in by about a second per lap. And that's only to catch him on the line.
Yeah, if he wants to win this race, he's got to hope that all this time stuck behind those tyres has just been saving the tyres. So he can now release the power and fly it past. But the BMW engine is...
Jamie Cox seems the most likely of anybody to make some form of movement as he dispatches Rinho, and now he sets his sights on Rautavaara.
Yeah, well,
remarkably, Reed hasn't lost, even though he
isn't out of the question for him.
No. I'm just a little bit surprised that Reed, he made that little mistake down at the double left-hander. Really struggled to get the car turned in through the sweeping S's, but he hasn't lost much time at all to Utsa. Pablo Deal, though, he does seem a little bit...
It's not really an overtaking spot.
Deal does seem a little bit vulnerable, I think.
We say that, but he has got a decent gap. So he's just got to hope that it takes some time to make up the gap. But I think this is just a battle of a second. It's not going to be. I think unless something screws up for Corns, he's won this.
Interesting to see that Cadera has been given about 0.3 of a lap less, third of a lap less fuel than Costello, but he's struggling to make any sort of impact into the lead of that RD Ferrari. So they got no sponsors, but they're not entirely out of hope either.
Well, they appear to be the only team who's getting the most out of that Ferrari engine. Jaws, they're trying, and Drift Slide haven't impressed that much at the moment. So
you'd expect Drift Slide to be struggling a little bit more. Where they've not been in a position, whereas some of the others have. As it's down to 0.2 of a second between Cox and Rautavaara into the first corner. Jamie Cox definitely looking for a few extra spots. As Brugman does a fast lap of the race, so just as we were talking about Jaws, struggling with the Ferrari engine, he's put that to the sword. That's not exactly true.
Yeah, that's called shut up, Jim. He's really kicked it into my face.
So Pablo Deal's still holding on to fourth. Cadera still struggling to make any sort of impact into Costello. I fancy he'll probably get the Brit by the end of the race, but it's tricky, isn't it? As here comes Jamie Cox. He's already done the job on Rautavaara. Bang. A defending champ eases into 7th place. As Yamaguchi dispatches of Rinyaho remarkably. Just outside of the 10 we can see we've got Sigalakis, we've got Sharp, we've got Harvey who's found an absolute cluster of cars. And so Harvey got past Lasky, Ishikawa, then tried to... Oh, that was a little bit on the ugly side. Mishra and McNamara there having a battle, and then Bimalana a long way behind. Nathan Corns finds himself quite a long way ahead, 9.5 seconds. Now then, here comes Jamie Cox up to the back of Aaron Reed. See that Entex just hustling through the corners. It's got some fantastic speed in it right now. I think the best job here for Reed, he has to let Cox through, I think, and then hopefully Cox, as he's going past Utsa, might be able to slow down Utsa a little bit. Reed might be able to get his man finally. And here he goes. Through goes Jamie Cox, as I think their microphone is broken on. Jim's microphone is broken a little bit, so we'll see if we can get that fixed before the race end. Right then, already 0.4 of a second for Jamie Cox. 5 laps to go here in China. So Jamie Cox now up to the first hairpin on the circuit. Can't
right
find
behind
any wet
Utsa
pass
now.
here.
I mean, it's looking like certain that he's going to get through, but how long can Utsa hold him there?
I mean, the question there would be, much the same, Reed really wanted just to let Cox through before he lost too much time to Utsa. Utsa doesn't want to lose too much time to Cox here, because then it might allow Reed to get somewhere close. I think he's a bit lucky though. Reed is over a second behind Cox.
Like this late in the race, it's less about losing time, it's more about trying to keep position, keep points.
There we go. So I think
through.
Rautavaara is going past Reed now. Utsa having a little look down the inside again.
Brave, but didn't work. Rautavaara is getting through on Reed. Unless...
Oh, and there's a problem for Reed. That's why he was struggling all of a sudden.
What?
Suspension failure for the Australian, so... See, just where did that happen? So they come out of the hairpin, he's up the inside, and then under braking, bang.
Yeah, I think just gone.
Yamaguchi had to take evasive action there. So Aaron Reed just 4 laps basically from the finish, had points, won't be getting any. There's the story of the day, look at that, the further up you were, the less likely you were to stay there. Only Costello and Cadera really bucked that trend.
Yeah, so the guys who did well here either went really light in the first stint or have gone for a one stop.
So then, here comes Jamie Cox now. He's onto the back of Pablo Deal already. The 4th position, which I think is a pretty decent effort for him. Of course, he's lost his teammate, so this is a prime opportunity for him to get on top of that little intra-team battle. But also, every little bit counts, as Deal doesn't want to give it up just yet. Not going to have much of a choice, although he hits him. There's collision between the two.
It's a bit cheeky. Bit of a touring car overtake.
But Jamie Cox does get by.
Costello doing a good job of holding on to second. So Corns and Costello looking for 2 podiums in a row.
Two and a half laps to go, and I feel that maybe that is that's a bit too much for Jamie Cox to make up.
He's not quite that quick.
Well, let's get a insight into just how quick he is. So into 7.1. So Deal now, he's just got to be careful. Oots is not too far behind, and he would love to get a top 5 finish.
Especially as he was the first retirement last time out.
One does have to say though, you know, here he is looking for top 5. I mean, arguably what was probably going to be his car is here. Jamie Cox does the fastest lap of the race. Bring it down to 6.6 seconds, so he's definitely going to give it his best shot.
Well, why not? You know, you never know what could happen. Could catch up to Costello and there's a bit of contact. Well, held the brake loose.
Yamaguchi here looking for his first points of the season. Rinyaho holding 2 points currently, which I think will be just enough to hold the lead. Actually, no, sorry, no, Nathan's first.
25 plus 18.
Yeah, I was looking more at Cadera going 5th and 3rd. He should hold that position.
But yeah, it's coming towards the back straight now. Yeah. 1st and 2nd on the grid, 9th and 10th at the finish. You wouldn't expect that, really.
No, but it's obvious as Utsa and Rautavar are down the hairpin as we start the final lap. These two are going to slow each other down. Yamaguchi's right on hand. There you go, Utsa's had no speed through that corner. What can Takahiro Yamaguchi do?
To them getting past, get squeezed out, it would appear. It's a pretty choppy in his defence. As they're saying, no, matey boy, you are not having this position. Thank you very much.
Interesting.
But look at that. Deal has just said, thank you very much. I've gone.
Interesting that Rautavar should do that, as Utsa falls back into the clutches of Yamaguchi a little bit. Wonder if the tyres have just given up a little bit on the number, I think it's the number 7.
on the ART. Let's go with that one.
But it's just interesting that the team should have allowed that, because he was starting to get close to the back of Deal, I think, and well, that's thrown away any chance of a top 5 for either of these two, and that top 5 is important.
Oh, definitely. And you know, if they'd been better to keep it there, because now they could lose.
But we'll leave that alone, because as he comes through the final corner, Nathan Corns will take his first Formula FG victory for Razor Racing. Simple.
Fantastic drive. Great job.
Stunning drive. Not much else to say. Costello holds on second.
Kedera comes third. Jamie Cox across the line, and it's down to 5.3 seconds after just 2 laps of chasing. Pablo Deal will take 5th for Raven West. Rautavaara Yamaguchi has gone ahead. So let's go back.
He must have made that. Yeah, into the hairpin. Oh, it's got to be. That's got to be so frustrating for Cruiser. Because that was his teammate 2 laps ago. That's the JHR. Well, first finish for the team. First. And straight into the points.
And a great move there from
Can't really
Yamaguchi.
complain with that.
Just holds it. You know, Utsa's won races here, there, and everywhere. Rinyahe will come across in 9th. So Galakis will take the final point. Sharp, Harvey, not too bad. Ishikawa, Martins, Brugman, Lasky. Could have been so much more for him. He was effectively heading up the field. McNamara, Mishra. I think Vimalana will be the final one across the line. Indeed.
So, first race in China, wasn't too bad. Bit of overtaking, a few spinners, a few retirements. Good.
So we will have confirmation of the full race results. Nathan Corns takes his maiden victory here in
Only
China.
second race.
He did all he needed to, and then held on to it, and he did pull away in the end as well. Harry Costello, he, much like Nathan, keeps a 100% podium record in his Formula FG career.
Yep.
Just ahead of Toby Kedera, who, well, we can't exactly say that he's got a 100% podium record, but he does have 100% top 5. So definitely the rookies are doing very well so far this season. Jamie Cox was absolutely on fire at the end of that race, but in the end he'll have to settle for 4th place. Pablo Deal started 13th, takes 5th place for Raven West. Not the strongest car at the moment, but he's done very well.
Yeah, vital points for the team there.
Now the next 3 I sort of want to say all in the same sentence. Yol Rautavaara, Takahiro Yamaguchi, Ben Utsa, 6th, 7th and 8th, and realistically that should not have been the situation at all. Ben Utsa should not have been 8th. At worst he should have been 7th, but there's been a large breakdown in communication between the Apex drivers. Rautavaara going through, if he was going to go through, you do that on the last lap. You know, don't sell your teammate, you know, short. You know, he's left him open for Yamaguchi to do exactly what he did, and credit to Yamaguchi for getting it done. So with that, we got Rinyahe in 9th and Sigalakis in 10th. Beyond that, over half a minute behind, Rob Sharp for Falcon. 11th place. Don't think that they got the strategy right on that car at all, but you know, that's an opinion that commentator will have. Daniel Harvey for DTK didn't do too badly. Takuma Ishikawa had the speed, didn't really have the track position to do what he wanted to. Starting from 20th, it's not going to be an easy day by any means.
No.
Rui Martins didn't do too badly in the Raven West, but didn't get to the heights that Pablo Deal did. Donald Brugman, the only jaws running. Jack Lasky should have been in the points, but he locked the brakes into the final corner, spun it around, threw the race away, quite literally. James McNamara didn't really do anything. Urjit Mishra, now he was a long way further up, wasn't he?
He did well. He had to pit early with an electric leak.
Electrical
He's
problem,
to get
that's
right
right.
on the back of McNamara.
So, not a great day for him down in 18th. Bimal Anna, he had a loose wheel, I believe.
Yeah.
And then we have Aaron Reed, who will get classified, is the word I'm looking for. And then Stefan Berner and Andy Graham, retirements with a water leak and suspension failure, which was the problem for Aaron Reed as well, but he was just close enough to the finish. Right then, we'll have a look at the fastest laps of the race. No real surprise, Jamie Cox, but I guess the surprise, Takuma Ishikawa only 0.02 of a second behind for the fastest lap of the race.
Well, that's pitting right at the end with new tyres, light fuel. So Sigalakis just kept losing positions basically. You know, they got mugged in the pit, coming out in 4 places, and then no way back. Kira, up and down, but 3rd place, you can't really complain.
Yamaguchi did lead briefly.
Yeah, lap in the lead, pitted, but then battled his way back up. Lasky.
Right there, you can just see it through all of that. He was.
That's where he spun.
He needed to hold that. Berner retired. Jamie Cox. This will be a fun one to look at. It's a consistent upward trend for Jamie, except at the start. You know, he went down, but after that, it's just taking people as he pleased. Gets to 4th place. Fantastic effort. So that is the Chinese Grand Prix. Any closing remarks?
Well, yeah. As I said, it was our first time here. It was good fun. Not a terrible track, decent overtaking spots. And you know, if you start in the front 2 rows, especially if you won the first race, you expect to get a load of points, but obviously not. Rinho and Sigalakis struggled to the lower reaches. Razor looking amazing. You know, they had a pretty anonymous race in which they ended up winning. So
for sure, they definitely.
That's the way it goes.
They got the best out of it, for sure. Yeah, I echo that. It was a decent first trip to China for the simulated careers. Yeah, the race went quite well. I think the rain in qualifying definitely shook everything up, but in the end, it's definitely done a very good job. And yeah, so, we got to see all that we wanted to. So pretty decent race.
Yep, victory from 15th on the grid. We got used to seeing guys winning from the back, so maybe qualifying isn't everything.
No, maybe it is not. But that's a question for another day, and for maybe an analysis show that somebody else can do. But with that, we will leave it there. Thank you for joining us here in Shanghai. We do hope to see you again. Thank you, and good night.